county regulators report, commissioners report, then presentation and adoption of the state financial statement for the year 2024. Thereafter, we shall proceed with our elections. I want to get up information that we received those in that notice of the papers. Let me have 1, 2 people confirming the same purpose of this. Shout your name.
I'm Shaka Chogea, I confirm. Chogea. Yes.
We want to do a very quick self-introduction from behind. Utapewa microphone, utasema jina lako na the part of the county mahali unatoka, just like that. Very fast, that is self-introduction. Meanwhile, kama kuna any apologies, this will be board. Na sio kwa chini. Kama is okay.
Kwa majina ni Dorita, natoka Webuye West. Bahamosa mjema. Kwa sababu kwa majina ni Douglas Sifuna. Kwa nesi ni chapa ni shiki. Ngoma itakuja.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
So I'm Victor.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stella Mugwaya. Yeah, my name is Mary
Anywhere go to my name is Aras Level of Roma. Morning, my name is Andrew Marako from Kairu. Morning, my name is Rose Wakasa Mayeku from Webuye West, but I work here at the government as the Chief Community and Social Development.
Good morning, all. My name is Helen Makoy from John Times.
My name is Kingu, naitwa Sitaji Daniel Waithani.
Hamjambo, naitwa Mika Wafula, msaidizi.
Charles Wandala, Patruki. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Shada
From Kalui, I represent people with disability. Thank you.
That's Musoko Volunteer Kidogo.
Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe. Amen. What? Masivo Masi, Webuye West.
Good morning. Status from Mount Kenya.
Okay. Mungare Kalisi Cheptais.
Antonio from Kibali.
I'm related to Rose Julian Kanui, apology from Mother Nakasa.
Leta apologies huku, tutakana kutetea target.
Menina,
Kama kuna apology.
nakaleta kao.
Naitwa Peter Wikila Makali Kanui.
Joseph Sirafu, Silisha.
Wanuna Immaculate Community Conflict.
Baraza Kenya Webuye West.
Margaret Nasoro from Tongareni. Scholastic Amasika from Kapchani.
Jambo
Good morning. I'm Tom Wafula Barasa, life member since 2009, Kanui Sub-County. I'm also the ward manager, so I'm the political chair and the one hosting. Thank you.
God is good all the time. Assalamu alaikum. Mimi naitwa David Komanda Simiyu.
Nyongeza na masaidia kama life member Umura Sub-County.
George Wakoba from Kagi, Kefa Aseta Barasa, life member Teresa.
Good morning. Isaiah Masaka,
Manuel Professor Mambuko of Kapchai and
Any members, Dennis Duma Wanyama Kapchai, like
Martha Malimba, life member of Kapchai.
I'm your Mr. Doris from Life Member.
I'm Mohammed Juma, Life Members Service.
Nashukuru sana. Kwa hiyo sasa tuko mbele
kwa majina naitwa Anne Yema, nikiwa board member Bungoma Kenya Red Cross. Karibuni. Ni Anne Yema, outgoing board member. Asanteni.
Kwa majina naitwa Emily Soboni Mfula, life member, pia treasurer. Karibuni.
habari zenu. Naitwa John Rono, life member from Jiptais.
Good morning everyone. Margaret Wanyoni, project officer, county coordinator, and secretary to the board. Karibuni.
Dr. Napiswa Ferdinand, Chair, and Karen Dichari. So I think hiyo imeisha hivyo. Kama kuna watu mtu wako na apologies na hajatuletea huko mbele, tunaomba ya mwisho for purpose of minutes tuletee. Tunaingia kwa item number 3, recitation of the 7 fundamental principles, na ile kitendo kitaelekezwa na volunteers wetu Stella and Mary.
Inigum members, my name is Stella Mkoya. I'm a volunteer here at Kenya Red Cross.
Good morning. My name is Mary Wamana. Okay, we are going to take you through the 7 fundamental principles of Kenya Red Cross, and it's summarized as P4. The head stands for humanity, that is, we serve to preserve life, health, and alleviate suffering. The I stands for charity. We serve or we help without discrimination, basing either on religious beliefs, political opinions, gender or race. Neutrality stands for, N stands for neutrality, I mean. We serve without taking sides in conflict or in controversies. I stands for independence. We act freely without being interfered.
V stands for voluntary services. We as the Kenya Red Cross, we offer services voluntarily without expecting pay. U stands for unity. We as the Kenya Red Cross Society, we only have one national society within one country. And lastly, U stands for universality. We as the Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, we only exist within one country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tuwapigie makofi tena. Tunaenda agenda 4, reading and confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. Ya wale kuna few copies tumedistribute, wengine mnatumia kwa email, au mmedownload, wengine mnazo kwa WhatsApp. Page 1, minutes of Kenya Red Cross Bungoma Branch Annual General Meeting held on 20th April 2024, yes, for the Paula Memorial Hall, 10 a.m. Agenda, welcoming members and reading the notice of being the annual general meeting, introduction and apologies, reciting of the 7 fundamental principles, reading and confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting of 2023, matters arising from the minutes of the previous meeting, chairman's report, the county coordinators of Yoja person report, presentation and adoption of the audited financial statement for the financial year 2023, committee awards, and any other business. Page 2. Minutes 1 AGM. So 2024 welcome remarks and reading the notice convening the annual general meeting. The chairman called the meeting to order at 10 a.m. extending a warm welcome to all members for attending schedules. The session began with a prayer led by one of the members. County orders handed the notice of the AGM and members confirmed that they received it within the required timelines. Unit 2. AGM stroke 24 introduction and apologies. The chairperson confirmed the quorum. The members are free to proceed with the AGM. Invited members introduce themselves by stating their name, type of membership, and roles within the branch and sub-counties they reside in. Board members also introduce themselves, highlighting their roles and responsibilities within the board. Members present as attached. Check that list. If you are not there and you are there, try to let us know. Members absent with apologies of Idris Ahmed, Dr. Mahmoud Said, Dr. Asha Ahmed, Mr. Ochemo Cheptai, CP Mr. Jenge, Mrs. Potenta Bombo, Mr. Shirana Patel, Mary Smith, and Maloba. Unit 3, AGM stock 24 citing of the 7 fundamental principles. The 7 fundamental principles were decided by the committee applying period, providing a brief explanation of each component in the book. Unit 4, AGM stock 24 confirmation of the previous minutes. Margaret Onyonyi read through the previous minutes and the members confirmed them. Confirmation was proposed by Samuel Mafula, seconded by Alex Jotu. 5, AGM stroke 2024 matters arising from the previous minutes. A member pointed out that minute 2 was missing and 3 had been recorded twice. Another member suggested that each member would contribute any shillings 1,000 annually before June to ensure that the funds could be used for many initiatives. There was also a suggestion that live members should have a meeting for the AGM to discuss ways to utilize the contributions. One member raised the issue of welfare and proposed providing the monthly subscription to reminders sent by online platforms like WhatsApp groups. Additionally, a member inquired about the lack of business live members who are sick and in need of assistance. Unit 6, AGM 2024 chairperson's report. Before giving this report, the chairperson made a moment of silence for all the departed board members and other members. We thank all members for their continuous dedication, hard work, and commitment. We emphasize that it was through the collective effort that the Kenya Red Cross Society had achieved milestones and opportunities. The chairperson also expressed gratitude to the county coordinator, who had also taken on the role of regional officer, as well as the regional office led by CP Esther and the SG for their department leadership. In the report, he highlighted the expansion of the branches, reach, and the strengthening of partnership with organizations such as Nana University, Sister of Clare, National Police Service, and the Health Department. We praised the positive impact on the community and acknowledged the opportunities and challenges that lay ahead. We encourage members to stay proactive and forward-thinking, to embrace innovation and progress, and continue to promote the core values of the Red Cross. We also noted the ongoing challenges of resource mobilization and urged members to volunteer, donating cash, equipment, foodstuffs, etc. The chairperson shared his confidence in the members' ability to overcome obstacles and emphasized that by working together and staying committed to the shared mission, where success will be achieved in the future. We also promoted the cooperative skills in UK and the closing, the chairperson thanks all members for their continued support and encourage them to continue making a positive difference in the lives of those concerned. In 7 AGMs for 2024, all coordinators youth chairperson for the board. The youth chairman was represented by Dylan Stuma, a youth executive member, who took the line members through the various activities, highlighted the youth's involvement in training and mentorship programs, focusing on leadership, digital skills, security, and peace resolution. Expressed gratitude for the support of the Kenya Human Program Red Cross Society, which enhances engagement in decision making, especially in health programs and quality leadership. Dylan urged members to continue supporting the youth so they can effectively lead activities under Kenya Red Cross Society Strategy 2025. The county coordinator followed with a detailed report. Last year, the achievements were organized under the unthematic areas such as communities preparedness for crisis, supporting health lives and well-being, youth-driven positive change, and strengthening the branch system. The county coordinator also highlighted several collaborations and key partnerships that contributed to these successes, including the community individuals and groups, the Ministry of Health team, especially with blood donation exercises and anti-GCAS campaigns, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Finland on gender-based violence prevention and awareness project, CPM Global on promoting inclusive climate resilience project, Masina Biro University and Bungoma County government, and in-depth training on climate change at all implementing levels, county and sub-counties, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, EPITK, National Council for Persons with Disabilities, and county team was able to conduct medical assessment focusing on persons with disability, identification, assistive devices, specifications, and medical referrals. Kenya Medical Training College and private chapters, Manchester Friends, Ngoma, Kwe Movement, EU Magharibi, Asili Funds, Ngoma, Club, the national government, the National Police Service, the GK, Ngoma Prisons, Nigeria Digital Network, etc. Minute 8, AGM 2024, adoption of the report. The report is proposed as follows. Chairperson's report proposed by Edwin Mohandia, seconded by Edward Smith. Youth report proposed by Shadrach, seconded by Lydia. County Pride report proposed by Mosame, confirmed by James. Financial report confirmed by Paul, seconded by Justin. Minute 9. So AGM 2024 presentation and adoption of the audited financial statement for the year 2023. The county prime treasurer presented the financial report for the financial year 2022-2023, which included the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. The report was discussed and members' queries were addressed. The regional treasurer provided a detailed breakdown of the audited report as of 31st December 2023. Minute 10, AGM stock 2024 matters arising from the reports. Members were reminded of the 1,000 contribution which was agreed upon the previous year. A suggestion was made for the contribution to be collected before June so that they could be used for significant initiatives within the branch. Unit 11, AGM's stock 2024 volunteer awards. Several volunteer awards were presented. Special recognition award gives Inyoki Eric Ogon and Elizabeth Jobu. University of Award, UTC Bungoma. Corporate Sector Humanitarian Award, St. Clair Sisters and Muslim Youth Group. Inclusion Award, Roth Moss. Implementing Partner of the Year, GA Prisons. Minute 12, AGM 2024 LP. Members were reminded to register for the Welfare Department with a contribution of 100 shillings and the monthly subscription of 250. Minute 13, AGMs for 2024 adjournment. There being no business, no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 3:30 p.m. with a closing prayer from one of the members. So we want, those are the minutes, we want to confirm that that is a true reflection of what transpired on that particular day before we pick matters arising. Proposal, I hope you are grateful. Proposal about the confirmation of those minutes. Shout your name, sir. Second. Yes.
Movement spelling.
Sorry?
Movement spelling is wrong.
So that will be matters arising. So you second? I second the person.
Thank you very much. So we go to item number 5, matters arising from the minutes of the previous meeting. I will move page to page. Page 1. Page 2. Any matter arising? Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 4.
Adoption of the report, that page, it would be better to mention the chairman's report, proposed county branching coordinator's report, financial report. Yes, proposed one, they are there. I propose that there would be only one proposer and one order because this one is the GM.
Which one is that? Are you on page 4? You're on page 4. Which page are you?
Page 5.
Okay, you're on page 5 now. So raise your issue.
My issue is this. This is the AGM, the combination of members report. We should only have one proposer and the other seconder. Not to have the list very many as it is.
That is procedure. That's procedure. Any other issue on page 5?
Movement spelling.
How is it supposed to be spelled?
I-K-U-W-E. 2 words in Chicago.
I-K-U-W-E?
Yes.
Alafu?
I-K-U-W-E.
I-K-U?
That's one word. as 1-1.
Equate. 1-1.
Yes.
Secretariat, I hope you take note so that you don't repeat the same error. So that is minute 8. That one we have found. Minute 7 we have done the correction on Ikwekwe. A matter rising that is on minute 10. Secretariat, can you confirm whether members started contributing the 1,000? No. So the status quo remains, and you are reminded, members, that you take it up and make your 1,000 annual voluntary contributions or donations to the posterity of the branch. Page 6. Any concern on page 6?
Chair, I have a concern on page 6.
Yes.
It's prepared, but not in side. Inside, so that only.
No, we only sign after they have been confirmed by the members. So we are immediately when we finish. So that's okay. We go to item number 6, reports. So I will I'll do my bit. So, honorable members, before I officially present what I have, I want the humility to request ourselves to be upstanding and observe a minute of silence for one of our board members and to observe a moment of silence for our departed colleagues, some of them board member Jacqueline and other life members and members of our life member family. May their souls rest in eternal peace. I will present my report, which also passes as a speech. And I will read, then I'll take a while just to say 1, 2, and then we'll move on for the benefit of time. Because we have very few minutes left. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members, volunteers, partners, and friends, we are 10 minutes shy of afternoon, so I want to say good morning. So my name is Dr. Ferdinand Napiswa Mahalo, a life member from Kandui, and also actively a member of the Lady. My parents, I'm still survived with my mother. She is arrested of Gadui, but I settled in Kimilili. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we convene our annual general meeting. And before we begin, we have made observation of our colleagues who have called the Lord, and we continue praying for them. They did their bit, and we learn from the dedication in service this great family of Bungoma branch. Now, I want to say that it has been a privilege for me to have been accorded the opportunity to serve, and I want to thank all of you for having assisted us with my team. Achieve what we have achieved. And I'm sure those of you who are here when you are electing us to office, starting from where you are seated, you can see that we have made some contribution in terms of improving our hall. And our ultimate vision, which we want to leave to the incoming board, is that you assist us actualize the vision of fully converting this hall to a functional conference facility. We have achieved what we have, but we still remain with a few areas requiring partitions. We are also finalizing the VIP toilets. We have done the external. I'm sure if you walk to the washrooms outside, you have seen. And those are the bare minimum. And even as it is, as you will hear from the Secretary's report, the income of whole hire has gone up, courtesy of where we have reached. And we are now moving on. I'm sure if the incoming board, you can finish that, writing on the guide on the current Government of Kenya directive on all meetings of public institutions being held in public institutions. I'm sure you are going to be a destination of choice by very many. I want to, for a matter of fact, tell you that for us as a university where I serve, Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, when we want to hold very important meetings, we come and take the services of our sister public institution, Kibabii University, and equal them because we are not allowed to go to hotels. There's a time I wanted them to come here, but because we had not finished, like we don't have conference desks, these are still insufficient. We were not, but I'm sure if the incoming team, you are able to implement that, the kind of directive still remains, and I'm sure, because His Excellency Mheshimiwa Ruto leaves, we still have several years, and I'm sure we can benefit from that. So we really want to appreciate the partners who have contributed. When you look at the external facelift of this hall, it was done by one of our live members. And because he indicated that he remains anonymous, I just want to acknowledge that what you are seeing around majorly is a contribution from friends and our networks and the savings from the ongoing projects that we have been carrying out as a brand. And much as they are not in our midst, but because my brother Kariuk here, who has been sitting at the region and both NEC, and Dr. Amin, who sits at the NEC, I want to appreciate them for allowing the region to give us the latitude to be a bit flexible within the available procurement rules to do what we have done with this great board. Now, another thing that I wanted, which we promised, was to find a way of not just reviving, but grounding the branch on a sustainable base. Reviving the greenhouse was a tall order, but I'm sure those of you who have had the privilege and the opportunity to walk around, you have seen our greenhouse is now up and running, and I'm sure that it's going to proceed on well now that we are using professionals, including soil testing and even follow-ups. And it is being run purely by our volunteers, and we want to encourage that especially our youth be focused and under the pillar of climate change and smart agriculture and greening initiatives. You see how best we can make that greenhouse a sustainable and profitable IGA. We also have water. This branch has had a perennial shortage of water. We have managed to sink a borehole. We have installed a pump, and the effort for the current board reached there. We are hoping that we will get other partners to donate at least a 5,000 liter and even the solar system that can ensure that we don't increase now the expenses of electricity for pumping the water. But at least now our youth, especially around the greenhouse, are assured, and even the ambience of maintaining the front of the hall, especially as we go full blast around the conference facility, I'm sure it will also be realized. And as I move on that, I want to say that volunteers, old and young, you have been part and parcel of that journey. And I want to laud the volunteers who have been very critical occasionally when they notice that some things have been done and they are not progressing. Even when I'm rushing, because I pass here every day in Kakamega, I'm reminded about some things that were supposed to have been done that have not been done, and to be corrected. And I want to plead that even as I did, the board that is coming, please give them the same support and let them take us to the next level. Now, I also want to take special mention about our coordinator and secretary of the board, Mrs. Margaret Wanyonyi, for her commitment and excellent execution of our vision as a board. I want to assure you that minus the support of the secretary of the board and the coordinator, as governance, there is very little that you can achieve. And she was ably assisted by the assistant and also running another project, Madam Lorraine Orembo, and I want to really take a special mention. I also want to take a special mention for my very able chairs of committees. The board is run by committees. It's not a one-man show. As a chair, you can do very little because Kenya Red Cross as a movement is run on the basis of committees. And these committees were ably run by Dr. Rono, Dr. Jamila, Madam Ebi, and Dr. Wambusi. And the honor you are seeing, I know it is, they always say that most of the things that are done, it is the leader that takes credit. It's like an 11 football team. You coordinate and the person who scores is the only one who is recognized as the best scorer when it was indeed a team. How I wish that much as we agree that's the reality, but how I wish that as members of this great branch, you take note and recognition that what you are seeing, the successes you are seeing around, is courtesy of the collective teamwork of these members. Particularly when Dr. Rono comes to chair his committee, I'm not around, he only consults. And the decisions they make, they only report the full board, which I chair. When Dr. Jamila is doing that, she has latitude. When Dr. Ebi is running, and she has been very critical on financial prudence, because finance prudence is everything. And Dr. Jamila has been in charge of organization and development. And I can assure you, including even psychosocial support activities, where we have lost our own volunteers, and as members of Red Cross, we become indisposed and so vulnerable. It is her who has organized for the vigil and the internal energies to conduct that. And I want to take that special mention. And due to my very busy schedule again, those who don't know, I know majority of you know, that my daily livelihood, I'm a full-time employee of Masina Muliro University of Science and Technology, and I'm in currently top management as a dean of a school, and occasionally you are assigned duty. Sometimes you are given a very short notice to avail yourself. Much as I commute from Kimilili, but always it takes me 45 minutes to leave Kimilili to Kakamega when I'm called. So occasionally in such a case, the people who run this branch have been under the guidance of my vice chair, Dr. Rono. And I want, for the many meetings he has gone to attend on my behalf, he has been very committed and very supportive, and always, even when out there, if an issue arises and is not sure, he always goes to consult. And so to that has been to other committee chairs who have gone to represent the branch in various capacities. Now, as a person, now my leadership style and commitment, I also want to take special mention of the following elders. They have sometimes had to reach out to me in my lowest moment when I almost gave up. Because sometimes you want to do something, funds are not there, you have to find a way of mobilizing. But they always gave me the spirit of please don't give up, move on. And these are Dr. Mohamud, Honorable Mahanu, who is I'm privileged is around, and donate a minute and just allow him to say hi, because his contribution to my leadership is so immense that it will be an affirmation not to acknowledge that. We have Mr. Walkano, who may not have managed to come around. We have Dr. Mini, I think he has stepped out. When I was taking office, I was branded his project, but I'm sure those of you who have seen me work, you have seen our daughter, Dr. Mini's project. I've been my own, and for taking part on my behalf, I have to recognize that he has also been very instrumental. And then Mr. Kayuki, you remember when last time, at such a time, he was my competitor, but we were just in the business of looking for leadership, but we were not enemies, much as some of our supporters thought otherwise. And I can assure you, and he can attest, that from that particular day, we have worked well and have even pulled him in our own networks. And as we talk, even some of the organizations he represents outside Kenya Red Cross have signed a memorandum of understanding, and we have actively engaged with the University of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, University of Choice. And that is the spirit, and he has helped our students with hands-on, where sometimes bureaucracy have made it hard for me to engage Kenya Red Cross. So those elders, you remain hidden pillars of strength that enable me to deliver as a chair of this branch, and all board members, there is no single day, even after heated arguments, perspectives, you fail to endorse the good ideas. Some of them had come from the volunteers for the ratification of the board when we wanted that done. My board members, I know will have a minute to say one, two, but in my own behalf, on my own behalf, and those who supported me, I want to say thank you. And I know when I took office, some of you found it very hard, but I made it very clear from the word go that I will be a one-term chairman. And I wanted to deliver what will help our great people of County 039 within the 3 years. And I want to say that I've lived to that. I was given the baton by John Temtai, who went into politics. I finished his term and then sought re-election. And I was given the vice chair, Dr. Rono, who worked hard. And because they were supportive, I supported. And when he desired to move, I lived my word. And I supported and endorsed. Actually, it's me who signed his request for nominations. And a number of them have also requested to continue, but others were technically knocked out because of the earlier communication we had about seeking re-election. And even when the rules were changed, some of them had already made up their mind not to contest. So we have new faces. You will have the opportunity to bring them in. My only prayer is that you find favor and see whether continuity can move on. Finally, as I conclude, even those whom we began and even were perceived by the public as enemies, by last AGM, those who attended must have seen that we really tried to create and close the breaches. And I want to sincerely say that where we may have differed, there was nothing personal, that we may have just been purely because of our different perspectives and leadership styles. And for any omissions and wrongs that this board committed, I take full responsibility as the chair. But for the credits and gains that you are seeing around, I want it to be collectively taken by the full board. We are going to be in the movement. I've requested to be allowed to move the next level, and time will come. If that opportunity will be given, fine. We can serve this great movement at other levels so that Council 39 within the North Rift can grow. So even as I move out as the chair, I remain son of soil, I remain a life member, I remain a great supporter of this great branch, and wherever I go, we are 100% sure that my dedication will remain to this branch. So I said I wanted to donate a minute, just a minute, for Honorable Mahanu, just to say a word, say hi to you, and encourage you, especially those who may be disappointed that you still wanted me around. As an elder, he has what he will say.
Thank you, Chair. Are you hearing me? Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity to give me to say a word. I just want to inform you, members, that we have a very great leader here. Despite his duties in the university, they always found time to attend the issues and problems of his branch. And by extension, I just want to thank you, both at this branch level and the sub-branch level, in the government, everywhere. But just want to thank you for your dedication. The chairman approached us, a few elders and myself, to be here to look around and see how we can source for funds to renovate this place, to bring it to the standard where other users can be open to other users to use. It's difficult to get those kind of funds. I remember we have got very many of of our local leaders, politicians, that was a hard job. But despite that, the chairman had a vision. And I'm sure the incoming group, or the incoming chairman, will be able to bring this branch to the next level. We are available. I'm sorry that last year when we were busy doing that kind of thing, I missed the day because I was taken ill and I was taken to the US where my children are for treatment. But I want to thank the chairman as you got the other duties in whatever you are doing. We want to wish you very well. But I just want don't want to forget Dr. Amin and his other colleagues, because we have been very, very close, assisting each other, consulting, and so on. But above all, as I'm saying, it is you, it is your resolve as members. Please continue supporting this branch, continue giving new vision, continue giving ideas to this branch, and let us work very, very closely with the incoming management team so that they can assist. Let us stand by the rules and the call that we have that the Hindu policy that we have as a branch or as an organization. Thank you so much. As I told you, I come from Kumula. I've been a member of parliament of this place, but above all, I want to serve as a provincial commissioner. I'm at home and want to continue giving the best we can, even on the time. I'm very good.
While I was concentrated on my report, before I finish that, I also just want to pause and acknowledge that where's Dr. Vitalis? I don't see him. You know, on this table, Dr. Vitalis is my boss because he's sitting here as a member of NEC. Dr. Amin is my boss because they're also sitting here as NEC. And so too, my brother Karibu. But as we proceed, when we go to the other area now, other things will come. But feel welcome. But I also always have bragging rights. I always have bragging rights. If it were not for me, Masako would not be carrying that title. So even as we respect each other. So, and I've always had the bragging rights. I've mentored quite a number. In Kenya Red Cross, quite a number of doctors now, masters, quite a number of bachelors, whom I've had the privilege to mentor them, because I've been in this space of teaching from 2010 at the great University of Masindi Muliro of Science and Technology. So for purpose of this session and meeting as I conclude, I also want to acknowledge, and this message I will wish the Secretariat and NEC, please, especially the NEC people, take our sincere message of appreciation to our SG, who in spite of his busy schedule, found favor to accept my request that he comes and meets the volunteers of Bungoma. He came around and spent one-on-one 1 to 2 hours with our volunteers. I was not in that forum. I allowed him to interact one-on-one with the volunteers. And of course, if I will be lucky to be nominated to go up there, I will remind him. But for the incoming board, please, follow up this commitment. He made it himself to the volunteers. And I'm sure John, Sami, Chris who are here, you made a prayer and he confirmed. I know there are a few challenges here, but we are supposed to be having our own Land Cruiser here. He made it his commitment. And please, board members who are going to be ushered in, that is a prayer I'm giving to you. But even me, wherever I go, I will still remind him about that. He also made another commitment about our rapport. We took him there and he saw its state. And he committed himself to look for partners. He will be doing a war and giving it a new leaf on the assurance which I made to him. And I want to plead the incoming board. Let us not be like politicians. You always want to abandon the projects that the other one was doing so that you get political mileage. On these two prayers, please follow it up on behalf of these volunteers. Land Cruiser and the rapport. We promised him that once the rapport is done, we, the people of Bungoma, we have the capacity to harvest sufficient food that will be stored here and be shared with our other native counties as reliefs, and it will be a very lucrative IGA for this great county 039. So that is a special prayer I'm leaving, and members, when we will be coming for our next AGM, as the board will be elected today, mumefika wapi? Lakini hiyo ya gari, Johnny, Chris na Sami ambao mliongoza wale volunteers, please don't give these people even a minute to sleep. Wakumbushe kila wakati. Tayari even we identify the driver of that Land Cruiser. Sasa hii hata msipatilishe. Na minutes ziko kwa volunteers wakipatilisha hiyo muniite. Nita confirm kwamba yenyewe hiyo Land Cruiser ilipokuwa ikuje, hata driver alikuwa amekuwa identified. Wao. Kwa hivyo kwa yale mengi nataka waomba kwa moyo mchungufu mwaruhusu my board members at least to say their parting shot. I know some of them have expressed desire to come back. Watapewa nafasi hiyo wakati kuongea siasa, lakini kwa sababu tusipofanya election bado tuko as a board. Board pata itafutwa, itaivunja
at a given time, lakini saa hii bado. Kwa hivyo nataka kuwaomba niwapee angaa a minute or so. Mosi kama utaongea kwa hiyo wakati ama utaongelea kwa sababu kwa hiyo. So wacha nianze na the main board. Instead wakati wa our time pressure kwa youth ilikuwa too much. Chair aliresign kwa sababu business yetu ingemruhusu na ilikuwa tunataka delivery hapa kwa hapa. So tukaambiwa wajirecollect. So I'm just hoping vijana ambao mmejitolea mara hii kukuja kutafuta uongozi, hamtafuti jina, unakuja kusawa, so that tomorrow usikuwe na mtu anaresign. Wala ambao mnakuja mkuje mkijua isipokuwa kifo, please serve your full time. Kama unajua utajicommit your full time, please do the honorable thing. Don't waste this people's time. So may I start from the other end? Mtaruka neck wao wenyewe watajipanga after you are done.
Asante sana Chairman for donating part of your airtime to us. My name is Abby Sogoni Wafula. Na ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kuwashukuru sana kunipa nafasi ya kufanya na Red Cross kama life member na vile kama mweka hazina. Kuna mengi tumefanya na chairman alisema kwamba tutapewa nafasi baadaye. Don't know when you give someone who wants a seat some little airtime, we can easily go into campaign mode. But I want to say the chairman. All right. Asante. Nimekuwa treasurer for one term. Na tulipopewa nafasi, mliponipatia nafasi hapa pamoja na hii board, hii hall haikuwa jinsi ilivyo. Reception ya hall yetu ilikuwa inaanguka, ilikuwa imeoza. Finances, kila kitu ilikuwa negative. And today I will read financial statement. You'll see, since we took over with this board, we even now have profit. So, takapopewa nafasi, tutapitia, tuwaeleze mambo ambayo tumefanya. Naomba tukure tena kumalizia my last term as a treasurer. God bless you and thank you. Let us continue working together for Red Cross. Red Cross is about humanity, service to humanity. Thank you.
So, Madam Jamila says something, and of course we are working with the, I wanted this session, kama tunaweza kula tu at least by 1, so that ilikuwa tumalize nini, lakini sasa tumeanza saa 3. Sasa nawaomba tuvumilie kidogo, at least by 1 tutakuwa tumaliza.
Shukrani zote zikizingatiwa, kisha amezungumza time hakuna, na yangu tuko machache ni kushukuru wale wote walionichagua na yale tuliofanya Mwenyezi Mungu atujalia, na hatungefanya hayo yote isipokuwa nyinyi mlikuwa kielelezo cha mbele. Bodi hii tumefanya pamoja kwa kuzingatia, kwa kuwa na umoja, ndio tukafika pale tumefika. Kweli tukiangalia miaka 3 iliyokwisha, hapa palikuwa hivi, wale ambao mlikuja, hii hall ilikuwa hivi, imebadilika. Kwa hivyo kwa uwezo wenu nyinyi life members na sisi board pia kuungana kwa umoja tutaweza kutengeneza jambo pamoja. Greenhouse nimeambiwa ilikuwa in tatters, lakini sasa hizi it is doable, it can do a lot of things. Agriculture, seedlings tunaweza fanya tukawauzia na nini ili mpate kuinusha branch yetu. Kwa hivyo kama si nyinyi, hii branch ingekuwa. Naomba wale ambao watakaochaguliwa muunge mkono, mfanye kazi pamoja, tuweze kuendelesha branch yetu pamoja. Na youth kama mlivyoambiwa, msikae chini. Mlioahidiwa fanyeni bidii mpate, kwa sababu pia itainua hadhi na uwezo wa Kenya Red Cross pamoja. Asante sana.
Utapewa some 5 minutes. IPC watawapea some 5 to 10 minutes.
Majina yangu ni Pesa na Mwilia, vile administrator of the community Tongaren, na serve the Kenya Red Cross as a board member for the last 3 years. Na vile nasikia kwa wenzangu nilipata branch kama inaanguka, lakini kwa mbali tunatoka ukiangalia juu, unaona regulation, sasa yangu sikuona kwa sababu mjambo tunaangukia. Ukiangalia pale nje kulikuwa na greenhouse inapika, sasa hivi na greenhouse tunaweza kuwa hapa na bomba, tunaweza kuwa na nene vile ilikuwa hapo awali. Ukiangalia hizi vitu tunaangalia sasa hivi siona mtu akianguka. Tumekuwa vitu tumerenovate. Sasa hivi ukiangalia kitu na sisi kama ile plastic chairs zikapotea wakati ule, lakini sasa hivi tunaona kwamba tunakuwa ni nzuri ambapo kila mtu akipita kuangalia anasikia nzuri na ambaye tuwaka sasa humanitarian heart. Bila kupakua yeyote, najua kwamba nimefanya tamu moja na bado tena naomba kuendelea na tamu moja, nimalizie miradi yangu kwa sababu kuna proposal ambayo tulikuwa tunafikiria kule kutoka ni mbali, lakini thank you.
Viongozi wote wana Red Cross, hamjambo tena. Kwa majina ni Mwangusi Moses, mimi ni live member, nimekuwa board member. Ndio ulikuwa wakati wangu wa kwanza kwa member wa Kenya Red Cross board kama branch, na katika hiyo board nayo imalizika sasa hivi, ilikuwa in charge of disaster. Sitaki kunena mengine mengi, ili kitu ningependa kusema ni kwamba nyinyi ndio strength ya Kenya Red Cross, sababu Kenya Red Cross haiwezi survive ama haiwezi dumu bila mwanamke. Namna hiyo, you are the strength of the pillars. Mmekuwepo tukiingia kwenye hii board msimu, mliona yale mliyoyaona. Tuko tunamaliza kipindi chetu, mmeona yale ambayo mmeona. Kwa hivyo nyinyi wenyewe nini? Ushuhuda. Mmeona tofauti? Penye tulikosea, tutatugia radhi. Penye pia tulifanya mazuri, tutapongeza, si ndio? Ningependa kuomba kuendelea. Kwa hivyo vile bwana chair amesema, sitanena saa hizi, tutatoa muda wa kuanza kusema sasa kwa hii kipindi. Asante.
Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Najara, coming from Kimilili Sub-County. Kabla sijanena jambo lolote, nataka kumshukuru vile mmekuja mkaitikia mwito na mkameki wachai kaja kazi zenu na mkaingia mahali hapa kupata ripoti yenu ya kazi yetu. And I also want to appreciate Dr. Amin and the name na our chairman veterinary na vice chair Mr. John Rono and our development officer from NEC Mr. Karioki kwa kuwa pamoja nasi. Asanteni sana. Vile mmesikia, kazi bila kuwa pamoja, kufanya kwa umoja, kazi haiendelei. Na kulingana na hii koti tumefanya kwa umoja, hakuna mtu amekuwa na discrimination kati yetu, but everything ilikuwa inafanyika through God. Vile mmejua hii branch imekuwa improved, na siwezi nikasema hapo nyuma kwa improved, inakuwa improved because of ya umoja, kwa kufanya kazi kwa umoja. Mmesikia wakisema tulikuwa na 3 chairmans. I was the deputy to Rono. At the same time, I was the deputy to Mr. Awuzi. So nataka kusema vile wamesema volunteers, nasema asante sana kwa sababu mlinyenyekea na tumefanya kazi kwa umoja, na nataka niseme hivi, yale ambayo iliyopakia naomba itaendelea kwa njia iliyo safi na kupitia kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. Without him, hata tukue kwa umoja na kazi itaendelea vizuri. Si Mungu awabariki.
Honorable members, board members, volunteers wote, siku ya leo ningependa niwashukuru kwa kuweza kunichagua na kunituma niweze kuwa mwakilishi wenu kule region. Mimi wakati mlinichagua nilienda kule region na nikakuwa mtetezi ya volunteers. Kutetea kwetu, I think volunteers umeona, si ndio? Mlinituma kama mlikuwa mnapata volunteers allowance ya 600, na tulipoenda kule tuliweza kuwatetea, na baada ya kutetea ikapitishwa ya kwamba volunteers wapate 1000. Si ni kweli? So nilifanya kazi hapa sikupata.
Members, board members na volunteers, hamjambo. Mimi kwa majina naitwa Anne Jessa Kuchenche. Mlinituma kwa board member ya Bungoma branch. Kwanza nataka niwashukuru kwa yale yote mmenitendea kwa hii miaka 12. Mkiangalia hapa, mimi ndio nimeserve for more years than these people are here. Wakati wa Amin nilikuwa hapa as a board member. Wakati wa Jemima nilikuwa hapa as a board member. Wakati wa John Chetai nilikuwa hapa as a board member. Wakati wa Kadiswa nimekuwa hapa as a board. Na Mungu awabariki, na Mungu awalinde, awapatie maisha marefu, awapatie hekima na maarifa ya kuishi na viongozi. Hivyo mimi nataka niseme hivi, wakati Zakula ilikuja walisema wala wamesaa for so long watulie kidogo. Mimi nikakubali. Ukienda ukiwaambia ni unakatali. Sasa mimi nimeenda ni ya 4 years. Na nikitoka ni sema narudi. Baada ninarudi kuomba. Kwa sababu sijaritaya au not tired. So naomba hivi leo wale viongozi tumekuwa nao. Tumekuwa tukicheza kama muchwa. Unajua muchwa inacheza? Sasa naomba tena hivi, wale wataingia hapa wacheza kama mtu na wapendane. Penye wote iko wanakaa chini na wanaongea. Dialogue is the best. Kwa hivyo nawatakia amani. Peaceful election. My dear, ukirudi, usiporudi, join me.
Hamjambo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Nataka nitoe shukrani zangu kwa kuwa na nyinyi kwa muda huu. Aliyepanga ni Mwenyezi Atakaye panga tena ni nani? Mwenye ako na macho anaambia kweli tazama. Barikiwe.
So now that is the end of that item. Now I want to call upon our secretary to proceed with her reports and that of the youth. And then after that, you will be guided on the next aspect as we continue, because we are now just with one item, and that is presentation and adoption of the audited financial statement. So let's have our secretary's report and the treasurer's report, and then the youth. Then, so you go first.
To the NEC members, the regional representative, the board members, to our line members, and to the dedicated volunteers, those who make the branches local there. Good afternoon. Mine is very brief and my report will be very simple because we don't work in a silo as MSD. So what the chair presented and what the youth chair is going to present combines my report. So I'll give the youth chair, I'll donate my 3 minutes to the youth chair. We'll have a presentation of everything that the chair said plus what the chair said, plus what the youth chair is going to say as a photo presentation. So my photo presentation is going to take around 10 minutes, and then I'll sum it up with a brief report of just a summary of everything for 3 minutes. So because we are to move to election and we have a directive at exactly 4, we need to have finished everything. So when are you ready?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Isaac Kaka. Okay. My name is Isaac Kaka. I'm the youth person and a representative to the youth chair. So I'll take you through the youth reports 2025. It's very short. After this, okay. So, in the first part of the year, which is 2025, Bungoma County has involved young people in different programs to help the community and build their skills. Some of these activities include cleaning and helping the community. Through cleaning, youth took part in cleaning markets, fighting jiggers, and greenhouse preparation as you have been mentioned. Stopping gender-based violence. Programs were held to teach people about dangers of gender-based violence and how to prevent it. Fighting climate change. Youths were involved in activities to help protect the environment and adapt to climate change. Learning new skills. Young people were trained in first aid and taught about diseases like Ebola and Mpox to help keep the community safe. And in the last quarter, youths were involved in Ebola and Mpox sensitization. As you all know, Mpox is a very deadly disease. So youths were being involved. Okay, so okay, so these activities focused on 5 thematic areas, that is health, peace building and prevention, climate action, livelihood action, livelihood and economic empowerment, and leadership and governance, making sure youths play an important role in improving Bungoma County. So, in terms of dissemination, Kenya Red Cross Bungoma branch youths disseminated over 2,000 students in Kimilili Boys High School, Amanga Girls, and Mugore Girls. Through these sessions, we established school-based clubs and registered students as young youth members. Also through our projects, that is gender-based violence and climate change resilience and anti-digging campaigns, we were able to mobilize community members to also join us as volunteers. As we all know, the main goal of Kenya Red Cross is to reach 10% of the county's population in terms of volunteer participation. In terms of community service, there are lots that we were engaged as youths, such as market cleanups, visiting children's home, our neighbor here, opening drainage. As you all know, outside the gates, there was the drainage system was poor, but as youths we tried, and now everything is okay. Greenhouse preparation has been mentioned. In terms of anti-digging campaign, this year only, in last quarter, we managed to treat 199 individuals. After treatments, we were able to offer them shoes and clothing to help prevent infestation and improve their overall well-being. In terms of laddering, the main goal this year is to improve partnership. So as youths, we have done that. We have partnered with Rotary Club of Bungoma, Arsenal and Manchester United fan groups, Chelsea fans, Bungoma County Referral Hospital, and through that we have been able to collect, in this last quarter we were able to collect 2,200 pins of blood, and the process still continuing this quarter. Hopefully we will collect more pins. In terms of mental health and psychosocial support, youths were being mentored, community members were also involved, police officers. These sessions aim to empower participants with skills and knowledge to manage their mental health effectively and promote overall well-being within the community. So in terms of youth ideas, as the youth focal person, I've tried, we have restored the refrigerator, and we have also revived the greenhouse. So if you want to promote our youth IGA, you can just go outside there and acquire your water at 30 shillings, soda at 40 Kenyan shillings. Thank you. The challenges that we have been facing, we have limited financial resources. Volunteer retention has also been a challenge. Volunteer engagement has also been a challenge since we have few programs that we are trying to set up. As you have been told, the greenhouse is working, so we are trying to engage youth through those programs. Okay, thank you.
before I read my portion, I'm going to give a photo presentation of the activities that we managed to do in 2024. And the presentation includes what Chair presented, what youth had presented, and just a few of other programs.
These values with unwavering passion. In the heart of Bungoma, where tradition meets change, Red Cross youth are stepping forward, reshaping their future and uplifting their community. For over 60 years, the Kenya Red Cross Society has been at the forefront of empowering youth, fostering leadership, and driving positive change across the nation. And here in Bungoma County, that spirit is alive and thriving. The Red Cross youth of Bungoma are embracing these values with unwavering passion and a bold commitment to making a difference. In 2025, that legacy continues stronger than ever. From the rolling hills of Mount Elgon to the bustling streets of Bungoma town, in schools, marketplaces, and remote villages, they are lighting the path forward. This is the story of their journey, a journey of service, of compassion, of resilience. A story of youth rising, not waiting for change, but being the change. In a moment of great pride, Bungoma's very own Mary Wamwana was crowned second runner-up in the prestigious National Volunteer Inclusion Award by the Kenya Red Cross Society. Honored at a national ceremony at the Boma Hotel in Nairobi on the 20th of December 2024, Mary's work in promoting inclusive service left a lasting impression. Her recognition is a collective win for Bungoma and a shining example of what heart-driven service can achieve. Change begins with knowledge, and that's exactly where the volunteers began. Through outreach in schools like Kimilili Boys, Namawanga Girls, and Mangore Girls, over 2,000 students were introduced to Red Cross values and community engagement. Clubs were formed, leadership was nurtured, and the next generation of changemakers began to rise. Community is not just a place, it's people. In Bungoma, Red Cross volunteers worked hand in hand with partners like Avalbi Company, the Department of Water and Natural Resources, and local leaders to clean markets, visit children's homes, unclog drains, and restore dignity to the vulnerable. Each act wasn't just a service, it was a statement of love, unity, and commitment. In times of crisis, honoring the departed is an act of deep humanity. Red Cross volunteers in Bungoma underwent safe and dignified burial SDB training to prepare for outbreaks like Mpox, Marburg, and Ebola. They gained not only technical skills, but also the compassion to protect communities, respect cultural practices, and honor life in its final moments. This training empowers them to serve with empathy, dignity, and care, especially when families need it most. Health does not begin in hospitals. It begins in homes, in awareness, and in conversations. The volunteers became messengers of health, spreading life-saving knowledge about Mpox, Ebola, and polio through risk communication and community engagement, chief barazas, community gatherings, church, funerals, and door-to-door campaigns. They championed the WASH movement, teaching hygiene, providing supplies, and ensuring communities were not only informed, but protected. Mental health is often silent, but silence was broken. Red Cross volunteers partnered with Kenya Police and local volunteers to provide psychosocial support, open safe spaces, and remind the community that it's okay not to be okay, and even better to talk about it. Their presence became a lifeline of hope. No one should live in fear. With boldness and empathy, the volunteers of Bungoma took a stand against gender-based violence, conducting forums, engaging in barazas, schools, churches, and marketplaces. Their voices carried a clear message: respect, safety, and dignity for all. Become warriors of green, ambassadors of resilience. In places long forgotten, the volunteers brought healing. In Bungoma, South, and Cheptais, over 1,100 people, many of them children, were treated for jiggers. Shoes were donated, wounds were cleaned, and stigma was lifted. The volunteers restored not just health, but dignity. Knowledge saves lives, literally. Volunteers were trained in first aid, but that was just the beginning. In partnership with Kenya Medical Training Colleges in Bungoma and Chwele, even boda boda riders and bystanders were trained in emergency response. Because help isn't always a call away sometimes, it's the person next to you. A single pint of blood can save up to 3 lives, illustrating countless impact. In a powerful act of unity and part of celebrating Kenya Red Cross at 60 years of humanitarian service, Red Cross volunteers organized a blood drive, collecting over 200 pints of blood. With support from the Rotary Club, Manchester United Fan Club, Kedius Drapers, and the Bungoma County Referral Hospital, the message was clear: we are our brothers and sisters' keeper. Sports Unites and Red Cross volunteers made it a platform for bonding, teamwork, and fun. With the launch of new football jerseys donated by the Secretary General of the Kenya Red Cross Society, they built trust, laughter, and friendships that go beyond the field. It is true that empowerment comes from self-reliance, and sustainability is at the heart of change. Through greenhouse revival and retooling cold storage units, Bungoma volunteers are not just surviving, they're thriving. These income-generating projects fund their initiatives and teach the power of self-reliance. These ventures are not just supporting their programs, they're building futures. Finally, what better way to sharpen skills than with real-time practice, which makes prepared? Through intense first aid drills and friendly competitions, the volunteers put their training to the test, showcasing life-saving skills they had mastered with confidence and excellence. Their precision, teamwork, and confidence were nothing short of inspiring.
Skills for empowerment and inclusion. In Bungoma, empowerment is more than a word, it's a commitment, a promise that no one gets left behind. The Kenya Red Cross Society, in partnership with Together for Better Foundation and Diamond Trust Bank, stepped forward with that promise in mind. Through hands-on reusable sanitary pad training sessions, volunteers were equipped with both knowledge and purpose. These trainings went beyond sewing kits, they sewed dignity into the lives of young girls. They ensured that menstruation would never again be a barrier to education, confidence, or opportunity. For many, it was the first time they learned that they could take control of their own narrative and then pass that power to others. But the story of empowerment didn't end there. It grew deeper, wider, more inclusive. A group of passionate youth volunteers embarked on a transformative 3-month Kenya Sign Language training. With every sign they learned, they opened new doors not just of communication, but of compassion. They trained not just their hands, but their hearts, embracing a culture of inclusion and breaking the silence for those who had long been unheard. In every gesture, in every shared moment, they reminded us all that empowerment means seeing, hearing, and standing with everyone regardless of ability. Because true change doesn't begin in projects. It begins in people, and in Bungoma, it's happening one skill, one story, one life at a time.
This is the reflection of what's possible when young people are given a chance to lead, to serve, and to dream. In every act of kindness, every session held, every wound bandaged, and every tree planted, KRCS Bungoma volunteers proved one truth. The future is not tomorrow, it is here, it is now. With the support of the Kenya Red Cross Society and under the watchful eye of leaders like County Coordinator, these volunteers champions have transformed communities and inspired a movement. And as the sun sets over Bungoma, one thing remains clear. This is only the beginning. Youth empowerment, community transformation. Together, we rise. To our Secretary General, Chairman, and esteemed board members, thank you for your unwavering support and inspiring leadership. Your vision has empowered Red Cross volunteers in Bungoma to serve with purpose, build resilient communities, and make a lasting impact. Because of you, our steps are steadier, our reach wider, and our service deeper. Thank you for believing in us and walking beside us.
Teachers never learn. So whatever we did in 2024, that is a reflection of what we did, the photos with the teams and the wording. So hizi zingine that I'm about to say in the next 2 minutes ni story. Sasa. Okay, so a brief, I'm just going to give key achievements that have been given in the photos and what the youth presented. We have also the 2 projects, that is GBV and the CBM Resilience, the branch progress towards BOCA. BOCA is branch organizational capacity assessment and some of the challenges and recommendations. So the achievements are in strategic goals. In the photos, we did not put them as strategic goals. But now with this, you are in a position at least to align a photo to a strategic goal. Kenya Red Cross Vision 2025 has 4 strategic goals. Goal number 1 looks into communities that are able to anticipate, prepare, respond, and quickly recover from crisis. Some of the activities that we conducted, we have UAS, that is the early warning, early actions. We had review meetings in regards to the disaster contingency, and this was done by the Bungoma team and the county government of Bungoma. We had volunteers being supported and trained, and we reached about 88 volunteers. We had our dedicated volunteers across the 13 sub-counties able to respond to various disasters, and we can say roughly 16. In strategic goal 2, we have the communities that lead healthy lives. This one we are looking into the component of psychosocial support, and on the photos you saw volunteers taking VSAs at the community levels. We had 5 active health response projects, and this is where we get the CBM Global Project, Polio, Ebola, and Mpox response. Those ones were short projects. Polio, Ebola, and Mpox were short projects, 3 to 6 months. CBM Global is a long-term project that ends in 2026. It was a 4-year project. And also, we had the issue, a component of PFA, that is psychosocial first aid trainings that was conducted, and we reached close to 132 people being trained. Goal 3 is about the youth. Youth had presented, so I don't want really to repeat. They had the training, they were the champions, driving issues to do with the cleanups, and they also had youth-friendly sessions in terms of football, along other things that they mentioned. So I don't need to mention that again. But key points here is the training of volunteers in making of reusable sanitary towels. We partnered with Together for Better Foundation and the Diamond Trust Bank, and a pool of 60 volunteers were trained on how to make reusable pads. They can do that, and that is a project we are rolling in schools. We head towards Boca. I mentioned about branch organizational capacity assessment, and so under that we have the branch convening the quarterly meetings, which is a must for the board members, having various partner meetings as well, and also having different initiatives going on, like for those for resource mobilization, like fumigation services. We have the renovation of the halls and the greenhouse that has been mentioned, and the Boca as well. We have two projects, donor-funded projects that are long-term, GBV and CBM. GBV we have the donor, that is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Finland, and the project is in Kopsiro, Cheptais, and Mount Elgon. Just key to note, a number of activities have been conducted, but recently we had groups last year, 13 groups of survivors groups that we supported with seed capital, and they have their IGAs ongoing. On the CBM global projects again, the project site still remains Kopsiro, Cheptais, and Bungoma South. And key to mention were a total of 236 persons with disability who received assistive devices, and also 136 groups that have been supported by seed capital. So for the CBM global, the 136 group, those are both farmers to farmers group and OPD groups, that is Organization for Persons with Disability groups. Job tracing services, and our personnel sits at the River Center. At least 3,020 were linked, and 2,740 families were restored by their families. That includes prisoners as well. What are some of the challenges and recommendations? And these are the key things that now I wish that the incoming board also take key note of. We have limited resources with logistics issues. The chair mentioned during the SD's visit, he had committed at least to give the branch a vehicle. So we need to still pursue that. Some of the commitments, like the jerseys for the youths to conduct awareness, he had already done. But this is one of the commitments that needs to be followed. And I'm happy our next members are here. You need really to support us on that. That is one of the commitments he gave. Multiple emergencies. In Bungoma, yes, we still have multiple emergencies. Be it fire, outbreak, the drownings and everything. But as a branch, we have limited resources. So resource mobilization is not really on the JD of the officers. It cuts across. It's us as the officers, yes, as the county coordinator, project officers, the volunteers, and even BEB members. And even the life members, you need to support us in resource mobilization to make this branch what you want it to look like. We cannot depend on the donor-funded projects. They come and go. All the two serving long-term projects, GBV and CBM Global, are ending come end of this year. What next? So you need to support us, get projects that are sustainable, that even after this funded project goes, we have something to make the branch move. So it's something we should think about. The limited human resource, we only have one volunteer trained in aqua rescue. All these drownings in Bungoma, the first person they call to is Kenya Red Cross. This is one volunteer. That is not an IGA, an income generated that brings food to his table daily. So you can't sit there and wait to drown. Tapata ayuko. So we need more personnel on board. And this training of this personnel really needs some quite good resources to support. So we need site people also, more volunteers who are willing, have the passion to come out so that we can have the training done. All these things that we achieved in the photos that were showed and everything that I've mentioned, we did not achieve them as Kenya Red Cross alone. We partnered. We had individuals and groups, we had the county government, we had the Searchlight, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the CBM Global Kenya, we had Masinde Muliro University, KMTC Chwele at the main campus here, we had Manchester Fans, Arsenal, Rotary Club, the national governments, the National Police Service, the prisons, Ikue movement. I hope that is the right. That's okay. Ikue movement, the Clare Sisters, Elgon View, and APDK. Thank you very much for your Before I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you. Thank the NEC members, the board members, the volunteers, the dedicated volunteers, and the life members. I know in all the photos you're wondering, where is Margaret and Lorraine, who are the project officers and staff here? The backbone of Kenya Red Cross is the volunteers. And that is why you see in every activity, there were volunteers there. We don't take that for granted. We really appreciate your support. And that is the spirit. All of us, even the life members, we are all volunteers. So in any capacity that we can volunteer to make this branch move, kindly, even donating that cashew to your crops, itasaidia mtoto mwingine mwenye hiyo crops. And that's the spirit. So thank you with those many remarks. I'll hand it over back to the chair, who will continue before we dissolve the board. After that, before we get to elections, everyone will step out. A lunch of 30 minutes will be served. Then we will come back for elections. Rules of elections will be given. Not all of us will come in. The register will be followed. With those too many remarks, thank you.
Makofi kwa secretary. The officials. Shall allow us to proceed from there. We are now doing the seventh item.
Officers from NEC, officers from the region, the board members. I'm told before the board is dissolved, you are still members. And all members of Red Cross, hamjambo? Inuvu? Mimi kwa majina kama nilivyosema, naitwa Ebi Sogoni Mfula na nimekuwa treasurer wa branch kwa miaka mitatu, na kazi ya treasurer sijafanya peke yangu. Ukiona wanasema branch inaendelea vizuri, kuna improvement, it is all about money and how safe the money has been and how prudent the money has been used. And that is why you can see all these improvements in the branch. In the branch, I have been the chairperson of the finance committee, and I want to recognize the members of the finance committee. Kindly rise up and mention your name.
My name is Eunice, Committee Member Finance.
Good afternoon. Faris Tenos will be serving as the Secretary of the Committee.
Thank you. We also have Hari Krishna Patel, who is also a member of the Finance Committee, and the late Jacqueline. May the Lord rest her soul in eternal peace. She has also been a member of the Finance Committee. As a Finance Committee, we have done a lot here. We have worked and ensured that every single shilling that comes here is used as budgeted and it is accounted for. And this we can prove from the report, from the audited report that is here today. This report was done by a group the report was done by an independent group called Grant Thornton. And today, I wish to read the report to you. It is very detailed. On page 3, we have the report of the committee. Those who have the audited report, I will not read it. Allow me to proceed to page 4, where there is the statement of committees' responsibilities. That's the responsibilities of the committees. I will not read it because that is what we have been doing. On page 5, we have the opinion of the auditor. Allow me, if we have a team from the region, they can help us go through the opinion, but given permission, I'll also go through the opinion of the auditor. I request that I do it as a last item. My work is very simple. Members, hapa ni kazi ya volunteer. Hapa hatukuji mishahara, hatukuji siasa, ni kazi tu ya kusaidia. And every single shilling we have received, we have made sure we use it as per the budget, as I said. Kazi yangu itakuwa fupi tu kuwaonyesha mapato ya mwaka wa 2024 na jinsi tulivyotumia pesa ambazo tulipata. Na tutatumia tarehe 31 Disemba mwaka wa 2024 kama mwisho wa mapato, kutangaza na kueleza namna tulivyotumia pesa hizo. I will use all the languages. Go to page 8. Page 8 ni summary ya income na expenditure. In the year ending 31st December 2024, our income totaled to 6,434,981 as compared to 2023, where the income was 4,018,017. So from this, you see that there was an increase in income of about 2.4 million. That is what this board has done. 2023, 4 million, 2024, 6 million. Expenditure. Baada ya kupokea hizo pesa, tumezitumia kama ifuatavyo. It has been explained there. Our expenditure, I will not read everything, I'll read the total. The total expenditure for the year 2023 was 3,730,764,000. And for 2024, our expenditure rose to 4,746,415. Income increased, expenditure increased, but we still had surplus. We ensured we used the money prudently until we had surplus of 1,688,566 as compared to 2023, where we had surplus of 287,254. I think we ensured that we had surplus of more than 8 times. So according to this board, according to me, I want to congratulate the outgoing board for the work you have done. Kupata profit ya 1.6 million from 270 something, si kazi rahisi. It is because of the good work, it is because of the integrity of this board that we ensured any money that came to the branch was used well. And you can see, members, what the money has done, and we still have some money to start off 2025. I want to say, on expenditure, there is a detailed expenditure on how we use the money. Detailed expenditure, you can get it on page 16. Go to page 16. Page 16, those who have the report, we have a detailed expenditure on how we use this money. Yes. Note 4 is detailed income. Hii pesa tulipata kutoka wapi? Now you can read and see. We got from membership fees. I think we have new members here. Chairman, you did not recognize them. New members who enrolled in the year 2024, karibuni sana, and let us all work together. So we were able to get an increase from 108,540 to 169,600 for registration of new members. And the list is there, how we managed to raise 6 million. Folio 5, 6, 7, all these are detailed explanations on the expenditures, how we used the money we were able to receive in this branch. You can go through. If you have a question, feel free. Enda polepole wazee, macho yoni vizuri. Thank you. Naomba niendelee. I wish also to talk about the financial statement as per the value of our property. Value of property, page 18. From the auditor's report, our property is depreciating. But in 2024, it is only the building that appreciated. Do you have the, I'm sure the building's value went up Yes, the building only. The building value went up by 650,000, and it's because of what we have done on this building. Otherwise, most of our properties are depreciating in value, and we need to do something about it. So far, our book value of our property, can you show it where the book value is? Book value 2024, 2430, yes. 30,677,773 from, well, I want to say the value has depreciated by about 366 up there. Depreciation. Thank you, around there. So the value of our property has depreciated, and I'm calling upon the board that is coming in, please ensure that you do something about this. I also want to say, I want to say that we have property which we have acquired. Despite the depreciation, we have property that we have acquired but cannot be entered into our report because it was acquired through projects. So it is in our inventories. I want also to look at page 9. Page 9. The financial position, statement of financial position. Page 9. Thank you. The non-current assets, as you can see, non-current assets increased by about 294. That is from 30,383,900 to 30,677,734. And as I said, we capitalize. This is because of the renovations. What we have done to this room. Generally, I can say that the general balance increased. And this is because we reduced our liabilities. Can you go to? We reduced our liabilities from. Yes. We reduced our liabilities from 145 to 348,933. Tulipunguza katika mwaka wa 2024. And I want to say now hatuna deni. Hata hilo deni la 300 tumekwisha lipa. Kwa hivyo hatuna deni lolote sasa hivi. Also, I want to say that is the financial position. I want it to be as simple as possible. For those who have queries, you'll be given time. But generally, I want to say, as a treasurer, we ensured the income went up. Although we had more expenditure, but it went up until we had surplus of almost 2 million. Do we have the Chairman, am I allowed to read the auditor's opinion? Thank you. Allowed. Auditor's opinion. Baada ya auditors kufanya hii kazi yote, wanasema nini kuhusu branch? I think that is very important. page 5. To the North Rift Region, Bungoma County Branch Committee members of Kenya Red Cross. Opinion. We have audited the annual financial statement of North Rift Region, Bungoma County, the branch, set out on page 8 to 21, which comprises the statement of financial position as of 31st December 2024, statement of income and expenditure and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in accumulated funds, and statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the annual financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, that is the opinion of the auditor, not us, the board members. I'm just reading this part on behalf of the auditor. In our opinion, the annual financial statement presents fairly in all material aspects the financial position of North Rift Region, Bungoma County branch as at December 31st, 2024, and its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with IFRS for SMS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board and requirements of the Red Cross Act, Chapter 256, Laws of Kenya. I think that is what the auditor anasema it is fair. It is an unqualified report. Sitaongeza. Those who have done accounts, you know when an auditor says it is fair. Sindio? Aoni mambo, ameona iko. I don't want to explain for the auditor. Thank you for having given me an opportunity to be the treasurer of this branch for the 3 years. And as I said, I am still fit and requesting you to give me an opportunity to serve as a treasurer. I am ready to serve.
Makofi kwa team leader. Makofi kwa board. Makofi kwa team. Makofi kwa all four of us. Now we are coming to the tail end, and we now want to have reactions and adoption of those reports. Unaelewa? We will do reverse engineering. We will begin with this one. Sawa sawa. If there's any query kwa hii, we'll take that response, then finally adopt and move forward.
Thank you. My name is Tom Wafula Barasa. And Chair, I've had time to interact with the financial report and listening to the head of Treasurer, Dr. Amy. I want to appreciate the board and your chairmanship for the work that you've done. As you look at page 8, that is the reason I'm appreciating the board. Increasing income from 4 million to 6.4 million. Chair, that again is where my concern lies. Because under expenditure on page 8, she could not read through the expenditures. But when you go down under notes number 11, you will notice that fundraising expenses was 2.5 million. Now, this is not an audit point, this is an observation, Chair. It would be interesting for us to know how much we raised after spending 2.4 million on fundraising expenses. It would be very interesting for us to know. On page 16 of the same financial report, under staff, there is salary and allowance. When you look at financial year 2022-2023, with the salary and allowances was 165,000, but in 24, the salary was reduced by about 60,000. It will also be interesting, Chair, and especially Dr. Ebi, for us to know the reason of the reduction. Is it? I'm trying to think that maybe we had redundancies, or maybe can I say, for lack of a better word, we lost some jobs, some staff was sacked, or maybe the salary was reduced. Maybe that's an explanation. Finally, Chair, sitting here around 1 or 2, I noticed that this hall, as beautiful as it is, and we appreciate the board for the work that they've done, we need not have air conditioning. Now, can I suggest therefore that the incoming board, when you come in, that you consider that as an item to put in this hall for accountability. Thank you so much, Chair.
Do we respond to that, or is another one? Yes.
Asante sana. Mimi nimekuja hapa. Unajua hii ni makaratasi. John Mjuki alisema hii ni makaratasi. We cannot agree what is going on the papers without action. When someone comes here, they sucked out. And the people were clapping for the brand. I'm very annoyed with this man. Because people read on the paper and we go. Where is the life members?
Excuse me, you are reacting to which one?
Where is the life members? Report.
ishu yenye Zawakila ameongelelea, sasa zingine ni vizuri pia Mungu wako. Nashukuru za zingine kazi yenye vijana wanafanya. Alafu maswali. Sasa wewe mwenyewe ni live. Hii ni AGM ya live member. Reports zenye tunapeana ni za live member. Tunareact kwa vitu wewe utaangalia na unauliza maswali. So kuna mengine tutaongea nyumbani. Yes.
When another is reacting to any issue raised up, can you have shock absorbers? Yes. So that you give us the end results later. We are getting very clear. On this paper, things are theoretical, but practically is not seeing what's in this paper. That's what now, according to me, you are supposed to take time and accept all the questions first. Then you react later on. But when you want to react on an individual questions raising up, we shall not finish. So even me have a package of questions to ask.
Okay, that's it.
Please.
Tumekuwa na round 1 of the reaction. And as a chair, I also have a right to guide the way the meeting has to go. We have had the first session of reactions. We have a duty to respond, go to the next. So there's no point of order. So for the queries that were raised by Tom Wafula Baraza were very specific. I want to give just an opportunity to our accountants to use the accountant expose to explain that variance, particularly the way we have voted that, and try to expound so that the member is able to appreciate the 2.5M. And then the number 16 will also say something, then I'll reinforce the chair. Then we will pick another set of questions, 1, 2, 3, because he raised 3, then that's the 4th. We will pick another set round, and then we can go to the point of now adopting the report.
Good afternoon. I'd like to respond to the question on fundraising costs. As you can see here, clearly stipulated that the fundraising cost was brought up. The highest amount is incurred by conference costs. They are on page 17, not 11. You can see how the fundraising costs arises. And as you can see, the highest expenditure is on conference costs. This is that. So that is what has accumulated that 2.5 million. I wanted to know how much money has it raised. And the fundraising cost on conference alone, if we look at page 16, note 4, conference income. 1.7 million that we used in conference costs raised 4.0 million, which covers the majority of our income again. Have I been clear on that?
You are on page 16.
Not 4.
Page 4.
Not 4. The financial statement.
Page 16 or 4. This is a conference income.
Yes.
4.78.
4.07.
4.078.
So you can see that from the conference costs of 1.7 million, we raised 4.0 million.
Is that an expenditure?
No, from the expenditure of fundraising under conference costs, we incurred 1.7 million. For conference income, it has brought 4.0 million. Then on the staff costs, I'd like to explain that most of our staff, of course, are on volunteer basis. And since last year, we have been having projects that are supporting us in paying off the monthly allowances. So sometimes we depended on projects to fund the staff, and sometimes we took money from the branch. That's why you see a reduction in that. There was no layover, no one was dismissed from their duty. Is there another question?
Then I think there was also, let's finish this first set, then we come to the second. There was also, the other one was a proposal where he was talking about air conditioner. In the final visualization, there are these fans that are not power driven. There are modern ones. When you are outside, you will see them. I think we requested the incoming board if they will buy the vision that we have in the full conversion of this into a conference facility. I think they will appreciate some of the things. And some of these things sometimes, there was one volunteer who wanted to donate to us. Some of these things are just donations. So if they come, fine, but if not, if they will be able to ring-fence a fund somewhere, that would be ideal because it relies on weight. And it is what I've done in St. Luke's. Those of you who are parents, our St. Luke's multi-purpose hall accommodates, I host a population of 3,500 parents, and because of that, you can't even feel the cost of those kind of. So those are the things that we are thinking we can bring in. So it's a challenge to our fraud. So when you come next year, go easy. So we can. Thank you very much, Chair. I'm satisfied. Thank you. I'm humble. So let's pick the second round of questions, and please let us be brief so that.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Fiona Ketoyo. I'm a life member, and I really appreciate the report that has been given by the board members. Just first of all, maybe I can just see the live members by raising up their hand. Live members, please, when we call on tafadhali. Asanteni sana, it's almost the whole hall. I don't know whether I'll be speaking to about all of them, but I'm speaking about myself. The only time I'm called here very actively is when I'm told to come and vote. Everything else, I am not actively involved, and I would just like to know the role of live members as far as Kenya Red Cross is concerned. I'm not complaining about anything. And I believe that is what Mzee was asking, and when I say my live member hapa wako wapi, he just did not have the words to say what he wanted to say. So I'm just articulating what Mzee was trying to say. But everything else, I really do appreciate the report that you have given us. Thank you so much.
Asante sana Bwana Chairman na members wenzangu. Mimi ni live member wa Kenya Red Cross. Pia ni community health worker. Swali langu itaendea labda mama kwa treasurer. Umetuambia kwamba wewe hauna deni. Na huku volunteers wako wanakudai, na pia wanakudai ndio hii, na mzuri tuseme tutoke kushinda tupaki nayo na ituumize. Mwenzangu pale akasema kwamba kila volunteer akienda kufanya kazi analipwa 1,000 kwa siku. na huku wakati tunaenda kulipwa, wakati tumefanya ile kazi 1000 pengine unalipwa kwa wiki moja, na maki hiyo 1000 unaweza kujidivide na travel kutoka mahali huko mpaka kwa boda kwenda kuscreen hii mambo na mpox. Wakati unaenda kuuliza, labda pengine wewe ni mbaya, utakuwa ni adui. Hatujakuja labda pengine kujengeana wadui, hali wacha ukweli useme. Mimi ninapofanya ile shughuli, huenda nitapata kasukari pale ninunulie watoto wangu pia wakunywa. Itakujaje wewe mwenyewe kama treasurer unigandamize mimi, unilipi kawaida vile nahitaji? Hii 1000 kwa siku ukikombea 1000 kwa wiki inaingiana, na kama ingiani utulize mara mbili, makosa iko wapi? Na ya kufuatia pili, tuko na volunteer hapa pia hawajaribu pesa yao yenye tulitrainia ama wakati tulikuwa tunafanya mambo na mpox, wangali wanadai. Asante. Pesa yao iko wapi? Umesema una deni.
The board member who is there, who represented us in Tongareni, for the last 3 years hajawahi ita mkutano hata ya Red Cross hata siku moja. Hata siku moja. Hivyo amchiti members wa Tongareni, simama juu. Atuambie kama ameshawahi ita mkutano hata siku moja ya Red Cross tukangusha mkutano. Hakuna. There is a problem in Tongareni. What is the issue? The issue is lazima tubadilishe uongozi wa Tongareni. Na jambo la pili, I'm appreciating the former chairman. The way alikuwa ana lead the board na Red Cross, Diaz was the chairman. Siku hizi board, the way inapelekwa sio jinsi alikuwa anatupeleka. Tafadhali. We want a change, especially those who are going to take over. Tunataka mabadiliko.
utakuja na sehemu ya siasa. Saa hii kitu tunataka ni reaction to the reports, we confirm them and move because it is time power. Na tukiendelea na hii sana tuitafia na time na tukue day kufanya election. Speak to the agenda.
Ningeomba kusema hivi, hata kama umesema nafasi ya amini akiwa chair kwa mambo tofauti, tafadhali watu wapelekwe semina. Hatujaona kazi ikifanya. Amkonzera na tige from Tokari. Hakuna. Live member kutoka umetuangusha. Hakuna kazi.
The issue of role of life members, if you look at the constitution, is very clear. Now in our guide, previously, for the times that we have been here, we used to have life members day funding. Now, as funds continue to diminish, anytime you want to call for a meeting, you have to justify the source of how you will fund. Because even some of you, mnajua kuja hapa kulikuwa na gharama. And therefore, when there are no funds and the donors that have been previously assisting have diminished, for you to call a meeting unless moving forward, just the way in the previous AGMs, it was agreed that life members contribute annually 1,000 and it funds part of those life members' day activities. From the matters arising, muliona, hatukufanya hivyo. Kwa hivyo, kwa ile board ambayo inaingia, kama mtakubaliana mufinance hizo mikutano, hakuna mtu atawazuia, kwa sababu hizi projects kama zenye mnaona kama CPF, kama GPV, siko na very tight budgets na siko monitored. Now, a number of them are not part of our audited reports because there are specific line items. Kwa hivyo, there are issues that are going to be handled by management and the assigned project officers, and where they persist, they can be escalated to the region. But as we only account the funds that come through us, and for example, ukiangalia like in the year 2025, if you look at the remittances for new membership, if you want to budget, for example, for such an activity, just as Life Members Day, those funds will not be enough. But if you will agree, as Life members and even other members, if you will agree the way it was agreed in the previous AGMs, and you live to that pledge, nobody will stop you from it. But the issue will arise if, for example, we wanted as a board to hold a Life Members Day. The region will ask us, where are the money? Where are you going to source that money? So unless I get, for example, a volunteer to donate and meet that budget, then it is going to be easy. Otherwise, the problem we are having is that most of the donors, and it is common knowledge that, for example, USAID, with the coming on board by Trump, walifunga brother, and so many people have suffered because of that. Kenya Red Cross included. Finland, this GPV you are seeing, you have just been told, we had the exit meeting recently. And even that ambassador who was running that program, now they have collapsed Kenya, Somalia, and Southern Sudan, and the office, operational office is now going to be Somalia. So even the funding line that was coming for that GPV, unless we get another donor, is going to be a challenge. CBM, these partners are very strict. And even getting an activity outside the framework of what was budgeted for and found up in the site MOU. Like, for example, if I tell you that when we were doing the grant, this CPM project for the 5 years is around 103 million. But in that, there is no money that is linked, for example, to infrastructure development. So we are reporting, and this, by the way, these are audited reports. It's not our own making. And even those of you who are in your midst, a number of you have been treasurers before, and you know that ideally, if we had the external auditor himself, and so on. So let us not belabor on issues that are beyond the board. There are certain issues that are managed. But on Life members, I want to plead that they see, and we can even have that conversation on a Life members wall, on how we can finance the Life members' days. And that will be perhaps the first assignment for the new incoming board. Now, on volunteer allowance and inbox, that one, as the presiding chair, as I've said, I'll not comment on it, because that is a management issue. And even the expenditure on that particular line has not been audited and reported in this. And therefore, I will be, whatever I will be saying in law is ultra-biased, null and void. So I don't want just to speak for the sake of entertaining you. Now, on the members that have the 2-3 members, whom I can categorize as being fairly fitter from Tongare, your observation is valid and correct. But you, as volunteers yourselves, organize yourselves at sub-county level or focal point and see how best, in coordination with the county coordinator, and see how you can improve on that. Because most of the, like for example, these donor activities, you have seen they were ring-fenced to very specific places. So you cannot reroute part of this money elsewhere. And we are busy now seeking more funding to other areas through justification. So until that proposal goes through, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So I want you to carry that volunteer spirit from the grassroots and not think that things will percolate from the head of the county. The scenario is very different. In fact, as I've told you, most of these things you are seeing us do, like if you have visited the washrooms, even the ceiling of those halls, that is purely in partnership with an NGO that is fronting hygiene. So we are looking for such kind of people to come on board. But I want to assure you, friends, even me, I was going chair as a volunteer and a life member. If I documented to you the personal donations and contributions I've brought here to see what you are seeing, some of you will be shocked. So let's move with the volunteerism and that spirit. But the bottom line is, even when we look at dates, there is a time, and this one I'm telling you without any fear of contradiction or being quoted anywhere. There is a time we hosted commodities here during COVID for the county government. Getting that money today has been a challenge to the extent that we are now being directed by the external auditors to declare it and write it off as a bad debt. During Madaraka Day, when we hosted, again, we deployed our toilets, our volunteers stayed there with a budget line. As we talk, that money is yet to be paid. And these are government. So friends, it is easier when you're on that other side to see that nothing has happened. And finally, my brother, and with due respect, I respect your opinion in terms of dismissing the Nabiswa leadership as compared to Dr. Aminis. That is your opinion, and I respect it. So, we now, because this is 12 minutes past 2, I've been reminded by the IBC and the electoral team, I have less than 2 hours to now finish the remaining business. Therefore, let's finish the AGM bit, and this is continuous improvement. We can always live to fight another day. But for today, for the say 65% of the things that we have presented to you and the reports, I now want to throw this request. We want to adopt those reports so that we move forward, close that chapter. The chair has closed that area, and protocol demands that once I will allow you, and I have spotted that But where we have now reached, I think I want to put now the issue to the members so that the 4 reports, the audited, the county, the youth, and the chair, they are adopted by a seconder and proposer. We finish that bit, we break for a small lunch for 30 minutes or so. On the higher side, by 3, you are back here. I'm hoping that in less than 1 hour, you should, because anything that will happen beyond 4 will be null and void, according to the Constitution and the guidelines that we have been given. So I want to request that we now finalize that bit. Let's have a proposer and seconder for the adoption of the audited report. This is my friend Tom, seconder, Mohamed Juma. County coordinator's report, proposer. Shout your name.
Doris
Edwin, seconder. Youth report, proposer. Shout your name. Elizabeth Wafula, seconder. Shout your name, sir. Ongeza Kwamba. Chairman, speech and report, proposer. Mary Hito. Wacha niende kwa huko. We now step out. There is a little lunch has been organized. We have a pint, then come back. Then I will officially announce the dissolution of this committee.